So here we are looking in Proverbs chapter 6, and as we're looking in Proverbs chapter 6, we also saw it in Proverbs chapter 5, where the father is continually warning his son against the sin of adultery and how grievous the sin of adultery is. But I want you to understand, when we think about adultery, it truly is an abominable sin. In fact, the Bible very clearly tells us that adulterers will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. So when we look at the sin of adultery, we need to realize how grievous it is. It's not only sin against mankind. You're not only sinning against your wife. You're not only sinning against the woman that you're committing adultery with, and you're not only sinning against her husband, and you're not only sinning against all of the children and all of the family that are involved, and you're not only sinning against yourself, but friends, you're sinning against God, and you're sinning against the very nature and character of the family in which God ordained. God made it very clear that man shall leave his mother and his father's home, and he shall cleave together with his wife, and the two of them shall not be, the two of them shall become one. And Jesus said, what God has put together, let no man tear apart. And so when we look at that, that is something that is very serious. That is a God-ordained institution of one man and one woman that are intended to be joined together until death do them part. And if anyone tries to intervene in that, you are intervening in the very plan and the very design and ordination of God himself. This is what God has planned. This is what God has designed. One man, very clearly, one woman, very clearly in the truth of the Word of God, joined together until death do them part. Anything other than that is not biblical marriage, period. I don't care what anybody says. It's not biblical marriage. So when we look at this, if we're trying to interfere with that, we're trying to interfere with the very plans of God. So, God, I don't like what you have designed. God, I don't like the way that you have worked things out. It doesn't matter what you like, because you're not God. You're not the sovereign Lord of all. In fact, we're little vapors that are just here for a little while and then we're gone. So our opinions mean nothing. But when you try to weasel your way into another marriage, or you try to weasel your way out of your marriage through the act of adultery, friends, you're sinning against everyone involved. You're sinning against your own body, your own self. That is truth from the Word of God. But you're sinning against God. Adulterers will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. The Bible makes that extraordinarily clear. Extraordinarily clear. We talk about homosexuality. We talk about all of these other sexual perversions and sexual sins. But friends, I want you to understand, yes, those are bad. They're horrible. The Bible speaks more about adultery than it does any other sexual sin. Doesn't mean the other ones are any worse or any better. They're all horrible and stand against the very plan and design of God. One man with one woman till death do them part. That's the plan and design of God. Standing opposed to that is standing opposed to God.